Welcome all. I am Yogita Yadav, Assistant Professor at the Department of Social Sciences, BBD University. I am starting the course Industrial Psychology. In this course, I have discussed various concepts of overall industrial psychology, starting with the introduction of industrial psychology. While discussing different concepts, both concepts, theoretical and practical component, has been discussed to land the course quite interesting. Industrial psychology is the branch of psychology that applies psychological theories and principles to organization. Often referred to industrial psychology, this field focuses on increasing workplace productivity and related issues such as the physical and mental well-being of employees. Industrial psychology performs a wide variety of tasks, including studying work attitude and behavior, evaluating companies and conducting leadership training. The overall goal of this field is to study and understand human behavior in the workplace. Industrial psychology is a combination of two words, industrial and psychology. Industry means any systematic activity carried on by cooperation between an employer and his workmen for the production, supply or distribution of goods and services with a view to satisfy human wants or wishes. Industry is a type of economic activity producing goods or services. And psychology, it is a branch of science that help us to understand ourselves and others. It answers our basic questions in life as to why people become sad, happy, angry, motivated, etc. And most importantly, why do people get attracted and fall in love? By understanding the psychology of the teacher, you can even get good marks by presenting the answer in the way he or she wants it. So, psychology is a study of mental process, experiences, and behavior. It is derived from a Latin word, psychologia, which is distributed with two words. Psycho, it means mind, and logis means studies. It means a study of mind. The concept of industrial psychology, you can think of industrial psychology as having two major sides. First, there is the industrial side, which involves looking at how to best match individuals to specific job roles. This segment of industrial psychology is also sometimes referred to as personnel psychology. People who work in this area might assess employees' characteristics and then match these individuals to job in which they are likely to perform well. Other functions that fall on the industrial side of industrial psychology includes training employees, developing job performance standards, and measuring job performance. The organizational side of psychology is more focused on understanding how organizations affect individual behavior. Organizational structures, social norms, management styles, and role expectations are all factors that can influence how people behave within an organization. By understanding such factors, psychologists hope to improve individual performance and health while at the same time benefiting the organization as a whole. While industrial psychology is an applied field, basic theoretical research is also essential. Now, basic concepts of industrial psychology. There are two basic concepts of industrial psychology is individual differences and causation of behavior. In causation of behavior, industrial psychology assumes that behind every human behavior there is a cause or a reason. Thus, it strives at finding the cause for a particular behavior and then changing the cause to change the behavior of the employee in favor of the organization. This concept is very useful in motivating employees. Second concept is individual differences. Industrial psychology assumes that every individual is different. Each individual has his own characteristics such as intelligence, attitude, physical strength, skills, etc. These differences make the work of industrial psychology difficult as different behavior results in different on the job behavior, and thus different method to control it to direct it towards productivity. It also calls for identifying these factors of individual differences so that proper selection, placement, and training techniques could be developed. There are some functions and goals of industrial psychology like policy making, employee testing and selections, training and development designs, improving management, synthesizing work styles, improving workplace productivity, overseeing analysis. The overarching goal of industrial psychology, as I understand it, is to make the world of work better. There are two flavors to making the working world better, but in reality, they present two sides of the same coin. First is industrial psychology can make the working world better for individuals by helping them work better, be supported, and get the jobs they deserve. And second, it can make the world of work better for companies by making their processes more efficient, their talent is stronger, and their accident rates lower. In simple terms, the fields serves to make companies more efficient and employees happier. In most cases, however, this equates to the same thing as happy workers are productive workers. Now, key pillars of industrial psychology. The basic concepts and techniques of industrial psychology are based on the following key principle. One is our individual differences. Every individual is different from each other according to their intelligence, skills, learning habits, characteristics, etc. Then causation of human behavior. Behind every human behavior, there is a cause or a reason. A person, it is a complete system in himself. It is not possible to separate mind and skill of a person. And then human dignity. A person has a mind to think and a heart to feel. He has emotions, he has sentiments and aspirations which have to be respected by organizations. The aim of industrial psychology is that it is interested not only in the man at the work in the factory, but in the salesman on the road and the girl at work in the office. It is the study of people who work is selling insurance, laying bricks, directing the activities for the large corporation, etc. The man who drives to work is guided by green and white road signs because psychologists have discovered that these colors are easily attracted. As anyone listening to the advertising jingle, they may be not aware that has been influenced by the psychologist employed by the advertising agencies. So the main aim and objective of industrial psychology are as follow, like care of workers' health, to investigate in an unbiased manner the way in which psychological problems are handled at present, to develop new methods and to modify the methods which has been tried out and evaluated or which is very helpful to maintain the efficiency and performance of the individuals, and it is also formulate certain principles which helps in the solution of human relations problems at workplace, reform it, their working conditions, reform machines, reforms human relations. So these are the objectives of industrial psychology. Now the scope of industrial psychology. The scope of industrial psychology can be further divided into a three major group and their subgroup as follows. First is a personal psychology. It involves study and practices in the area as job analysis, recruitment, selection, employees' performance appraisal and determination of salaries, training and development of employees, etc. Basically, it focused on an individual at a workplace. Like job analysis, it is a process of collecting information about various components of jobs. It includes both duties and conditions of work and individual qualification of workers. This information is used to prepare the job description and job specification. Secondly, the recruitment, it refers to the process of attracting, screening and selecting qualified people for a job at an organization or company. Selection is basically picking applicants from a pool of job applicants who have the appropriate qualification and competencies to do the job in the organization. Employees' performance appraisal and determination of salary is basically the process of obtaining and analyzing, recording information about the relative worth of an employee. And training and development of employee is an attempt to improve a current or future employees perform by increasing the employee's ability to perform through learning, usually by changing the employee's attitude or increasing his or her skills and knowledge. The second scope is concerned with the basic issues, that these are the organizational psychology, like leadership. It is a process of social influence in which one person can enlist the aid and support of others in the accomplishment of a common task. Job satisfaction is the amount of contentment arising from the interplay of the employee's positive and negative feeling towards his or her job. Motivation, it is basically a term referring to a family of concepts which is used to explain the initiation, direction, maintenance, termination of activities taken up by living organism. Group dynamics, it is a social process by which people interact face to face in small groups. Conflict, conflict is a psychological and behavioral reaction to a perception that another person is either keeping you away from reaching the goal, taking away your right to behave in a particular way, or violating the expectancies of a relationships. So conflict management is the practice of identifying and handling conflicts in a sensible, fair and efficient manner. Conflict management requires such skills as effective communication, proper solving, problem solving and negotiating with a focus on interest. Then organizational communication, it is the basically the process of exchange of information and understanding among the people of the organizations. So these are the factors which is related with the organizational issues. And third scope of industrial psychology is concerned with the human factor. It is also known as a ergonomics. It focuses on the fatigue and boredom at workplace, industrial safety, work environment, stress, etc. So first of all, layout of workplace, it plays an important role. If layout of workplace is not properly well established, then it creates a chance of accidents. So it is very important. Then machine adjustment means the allocation of physical resources. It is also very important to maintain the efficiency of the individuals at workplace. So then fatigue and boredom. Fatigue is a condition which is characterized by a decrease in the output of an activity due to previous activities and is directly proportional to poorness of the output. Boredom refers to the dull, uninterested, and unfavorable state of mind or attitude of a worker towards his work. Like stress, it is a person's adaptive response to a stimulus that places excessive psychological and physical demands on him or her. So the chance of accidents is increased due to fatigue, boredom, or stress felt by an individual. So the scope of industrial psychology is very wide, or it explains the relationship between man and his working environment. Now, applications of industrial psychology. Psychology is an extreme broad field encompassing many different approaches to the study of mental process and behavior. So, the importance of industrial psychology would be reflected in what it does for the industrial concern. The tools of industrial psychology can be applied in the following areas like scientific selection of workers, proper division of work, minimizing the wastage of human efforts, promoting labor welfare, enhancement of human relations, development of human relations, etc. Now, first of all, we discuss about the scientific selection of work. Industrial psychology offers a whole arrangement of tests such as a systematic depth interviews, psychological test of intelligence, aptitude, skills, abilities and interests, the personal characteristics, etc. This is an important area of industrial management where the knowledge of psychology is widely used. So, these tests help in choosing right type of people for the organization. If these tests are properly applied, there will be lower rate of labor turnover, higher productivity of employees and higher job satisfaction among the employees. Next is a proper division of work. The work should be properly divided according to the ability, skills and aptitude of the workers so that they may feel comfortable and satisfied, and it will provide a higher productivity rate. Minimizing the wastage of human effort. Industrial psychology tries to minimize the wastage of human power because it is necessary to maintain the efficiency and performance of employee for maintaining the productivity rate of productivity at workplace. So it is important, and this technique of motivation and morale are used for this purpose. To keep high the morale of personnel is another significant problem of the management. So the industrial psychologist can go into the causes of low morale of the employees and can determine the factor influencing the relationship between the attitude of employees and their performance. In addition to these, psychology also studies the group dynamic. It explains the behavior of people when they work in group. It also promoting a labor welfare by introducing adequate working environment through which job satisfaction, work efficiency increases, and also state the provision of higher incentives. Human engineering is concerned with the designing and lining out of equipment in order to get the greatest efficiency of man-machine system. So the industrial psychologist working in human engineering provides data on which management can decide to improve the design, improve the product for the comfort of the users and increase the sale of product and satisfaction of the customers. It also helps to reduce machines breakdown, wastages of raw materials, training time to workers to minimize accidents and to introduce better performance and job satisfaction. Human relations are the relations among individual in an organization and group behavior that also emerge from their relations. The benefit of human relations at workplace, the workers feel ease with the surroundings, then automatically they get motivated and productivity will be higher. Industrial psychology studies the attitude of the employers and employees. individuals differs from each other in their thoughts, thinking, behavior and other parameters. So the benefit of this, it is very helpful to understand or to develop industrial relationships among workers and management, which is very helpful to maintain the industrial profitability also. Now, major influence of industrial psychology. Major influence of industrial psychology are can be divided in different management approaches. Management plays a crucial role in the making of the organization, and therefore effective management is required to ensure every organization is working towards a common objective or goal. Hence, it is essential to produce a good organization structure and organization relationships. So, the four different major type of management approaches we'll discuss in this. First is a scientific management approach. According to the F.W. Taylor, scientific management was a theory of management that analyzed the objective of increasing the labor productivity. Taylor also mentioned that management of business, industry, or economy must be according to principles of efficiency from the experiments and operations in methods of work and production. Besides, Taylor also insisted that the manner of change in management could be determined by scientific study. Taylor believes that the management could be formulated as an academic discipline and the best results could come from the partnership between qualified management and the trained. The key concept of scientific management approach includes time and motion studies, standardization of management, functional foremanship, and differential piece rate system. According to the Sharon Jones, also stated that scientific management is relied on increased mechanisms to be subdivided into highly specialized and routine tasks, which means need to select the right people for the right job with his abilities. So the best method of doing a job can be achieved and resulting in increasing production line. Next approach is a human relation approach. Human relation approach was emphasized on structure and the formal organization, but the social factor at work and behavior of workers within an organization need to pay greater attention. This method much more focused on the workmanships themselves and their satisfactory needs. They will ensure that the environment of their workplace provide a completely safety precautions. This approach also worked on self-confidence of their workforce. Besides, it also means people go to work to gain recognitions, appreciation and not just simply for financial gains. Thus, manager should understanding the feelings and emotions of the workers and not treated them as machine. Next is a administrative approach. This is mainly known as a bureaucracy management approach. Bureaucracy is the name of an organization used by organization designs professionals. Bureaucracy describes a set of characteristics or attributes who deals with or who work with the organizations. In the 1930, Max Weber, a German sociologist, described the bureaucracy as being a way of organizing government agencies. The characteristic of bureaucracy management is based on the rational authority would be more adaptable to changes. Besides, system of written rules and standard operating procedures are prescribed to provide certainty and facilitate coordinations. Impersonal relationships is maintained between the managers and employees. Moreover, only competent people are hiring for jobs based on their competence and technical qualification. Next approach is a behavioral approach. The behavioral approach to management focuses on human relations and employee well-being rather than simply setting tasks and demanding that they be completed. The behavioral style manager helps create conditions that keep workers satisfied and motivated. So, the social factor and psychological motivations take on more importance than financial incentives. This approach assumes the workers want to work and that if the managers provide the right environment, productivity will follows. So apart from this, we will talk about the another important areas also, and then slowly we will take forward this discussion to the another important relevant concept. So this all I will discuss with you in the next class. Thank you very much.